The media say something? Nope. Just because it's y'all. But again, man, we have to connect to our folks and stop letting these people tell us what it is. Black on black crime is not a real statistic, people. Stop it. Oh man, but look at the crime. That's because they over-index on the crime in your community and under-index on crime in other communities. So stop allowing people who don't have your best interest to create narratives that you can follow. Period. Knock it off, man. How can you in one breath, and I say this all the time, and y'all might be even sick of me saying it, but there's somebody who listens to my show for the very first time and never heard me say this. How can you complain that the media is out to get you and then quote the very media that's out to get you? If you don't know what white on white crime is, if you don't know what Asian on Asian crime is, if you don't know what Latino on Latino crime is, well, how do everybody know what black on black crime is? The rape, rather. And that's the morality pulpit that's what I was speaking from. So now, man, we're not going to have people blackfishing us no more. And another thing, we have to figure out a way. I said this the last 2 days to different people. 26% of the people that are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook they look like us in the United States of America. We want to make up 13% of the population. So that means we are more than 25%, a quarter of the people on there, and we are not a quarter of the people. So that means we drive social media. We driving that shit. We drive the bus on that. And you know what? It might be time for us to disengage until somebody come up with our own get down. You know, you got this new thing that everybody running into. It's called, I even downloaded. It's called Clubhouse. Who owns Clubhouse? Why are we over-indexing on Clubhouse? And it's an exclusive thing. You have to be invited to the Clubhouse. Get the hell out of here, man. But what I do know is this. One of my favorite forms of social media was just purchased by a Major League Trump supporter. Explain this to me. Explain this to me, folks. How is it that I could be placed in Facebook jail for quoting some Ice Cube lyrics? This really happened to me. What they call Facebook jail. I get banned for a few hours, 12, 14 hours. I could be banned for an hour from posting on Twitter because I said, man, he needs to get slapped in the face. But they ain't never banned Donald Trump from either platform. They kicked me off for a couple of hours on both of them, and they kicked the Minister Farrakhan off. Because he's saying his truth. He ain't never said nothing about hurting nobody. He's just telling his truth. But the Steve Banyans and all these biggest, they keep their spots. So, again, seeing how we are the driving force behind these things, we need to start edging on some of our folks. You know, like Jay-Z invented Tidal. And I subscribe to Tidal. Maybe we need to start talking to the Jay-Z's and the Oprahs and that to create some type of social media outlet, and we all en masse just flip over to that. Because guess what? The advertisers don't give a damn if we tweeting, meeting, freaking, deeting, or nothing. As long as we on there driving it, and then people will follow us, but it's our get down. It's somebody from our community. Now you got tech people who look like me and you in control of stuff. And that's when you post something positive or you post something that say king or queen, and it's not some type of derogatory statement towards the LGBT community, then you can voice your opinion. Now you're heard. You got to stop over-indexing and making people who are not supporting us and not behind us and not making sure our lives are easier rich. See, this boycotting Gucci and Coochie and all. No, we not boycotting. We're just leaving. You don't need to. If you work every day, you might not need to be buying all that stuff. You get your 1 or 2 pieces and keep it moving. But back to the main point, this criticism on live air, Booker McFarlane, shout out to RC who brought that to my attention, because man, that was one of those. I don't really watch ESPN no more because I see through the racism, and I'm not finna support the bigotry. I'm just saying, I'm not supporting it, man. I am a sports junkie. That sports was my very first girlfriend, and we about to break the F up. We doing the trial separation. I still watch. I still read, so I got to be informed on my show on Tuesdays. But I don't get down like I used to. It ain't fun no more. It's just I'm good at talking, as you hear. I'm good. I run my mouth as much as you allow me. So it's a lot of fun talking about it, but I missed it. But Booker McFarland sat out on TV and excoriated all brothers, most of the brothers in the National Football League. They are not worried about what they could do for football. They're worried about what football could do for them. You damn right, because when football chew their ass up and spit them out, football don't come looking for you. Hey man, I know we cut you last week, but do you want one of these? No, they don't do that. They did not do that. These schools don't do it. So yeah. Now, had he pinpointed that, as the brother RC and the brother Big Illinois and a couple other people who brought it to my attention said, had he pinpointed that situation, then yes, he would have been right. But to say the NFL is 70% black, so it's most of these black dudes, not mentioning other white dudes who've been caught breaking and entering, writing fake prescriptions, beating on their girlfriends. You never hear about that. You got kickers. Dudes who football players, don't even consider them football players. They girls. No disrespect to women. They girls. They don't even practice with us. They practice on a whole nother field. They might as well be out there in that draws. Kickers whooping they women. White kicker whooped his woman at the Pro Bowl. Not only did he not get kicked out the league, he got a contract extension until it came out. And then, nobody said, and you say, look, you say domestic violence, everybody say Ray Rice. It's a kicker. After that Ray Rice situation, don't nobody talk about it. You're white boy. ESPN don't talk about it. Fox News don't talk about it. Bleacher Report don't talk about it. You got Doug Gottlieb talking about brothers need to get their act together. Brother, you got caught stealing credit cards. And you still on one of the biggest networks, got one of the biggest shows, and you getting paid top dollar, and you a thief. Because guess what? You were a brother who's playing big time college basketball, got drafted to the league, and you was still stealing. You a thief. You a thief. You were talking about somebody promoting their brand. You were stealing somebody's brand. You a thief, Doug Gottlieb. What? These people don't want that. Hey, how many thieves they got on ESPN that look like me and you? They don't. That's why I can't watch as much. Information purposes only. I have to read some of the stuff, but we got to stop criticizing, because the same things we go through, everybody else is going through, but I can't figure it out for the life of me why, no disrespect to the Latino community, why MS-13 ain't never on the news. Only time you hear about drug dealers that are not black is when, what's the boy, El Chapo escaped from federal jail. It's the only time you hear about it. And then you hear some of the most horrific numbers you ever heard in your life. He's part of a $50 billion a year situation. What? He's killing all these other drug dealers. Why don't I never hear this on TV? Because we busy arguing and pointing the finger and calling each other coons and niggas and thoughts and all this other stuff. Nah, man, we gotta cut that out. You gotta beef with somebody, call them and talk to them directly. Uplift the young brother. Booger, you a grown man. Why ain't you Anthony McFarland now, man? The Booger thing probably stopped when he started when he was about 4 or 5. Why are you 45 and you still Booger, man? That's a problem, brother. You Anthony McFarland, brother. Knock it off, bro. The media is not your friend. We have to stop, man. We have to stop going to talk to these people, because you know what, man? If you're a brother, if you're a brother and you do an expo with Anthony McFarland, if you do an expo with Randy Moss, I'm just going to shake my head at you, brother, because they was on there knocking you. I'm not doing no interviews with none of those clowns on ESPN. And I don't want Anthony and Randy to get fired, but you need to have Jim Brown or one of these old Dr. J, one of these older brothers step to them, because obviously they are not mature enough to not destroy a brother right on TV. Why is it Shannon Sharp one of the few black men on TV that can say you did something wrong in a respectful manner without dragging you through the mud, man? These people at ESPN are not our friends. You know, homeboy Smith would have just acted a complete and utter fool. I'm anticipating him acting a fool. I'm gonna record it Monday because I know he charging his batteries for this Monday. He is charging his batteries for this. And they just destroyed their young brother's career. Hey, but you know what? My man RC said, not Jim Brown, not now. But guess what, man? Fun fact. Learned this from Eton Thomas, man. Community activist, former NBA player. Jim Brown went to the summit, the Muhammad Ali summit, to talk Muhammad Ali into going to the military. So this Jim Brown ain't really the different Jim Brown. He's one of the best kept secrets in sports. One of the best kept secrets in sports. That Jim Brown, he been that guy, man. He's been that guy, man. You know, he's done a lot of good activism and stuff like that, but check his resume. We need to check his pedigree, man. Jim Brown kind of shaky. And the fact that Jim Brown went on Arsenio Hall 25 years ago and took a dump on Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, came back 25 years later on a different Arsenio Hall show and took a dump on Kobe Bryant. Again, man, we all have different ways of doing things, but we don't have to stand in front of the world and disrespect anybody. You know, so I don't know. But this disrespecting people and echoing foolishness and it's a privilege to play in the league. No, it ain't. I worked my ass off to get into the National Football League, MLB, NBA, NHL, Major League Soccer, whatever athletic prowess I've perfected or enhanced or became one of the best in the world at. It ain't no privilege to put my mental state in jeopardy for the rest of my days. Yeah, but see the thing, we'll talk about it later, RC. You know how we get down. But it's just, man, we can't do it in public anymore. And again, like my man RC just put, Jim Brown consistently ripped OJ. But then that's the thing, man. What did that get him, man? OJ Simpson was going to be OJ Simpson. If OJ Simpson, we saw that kind of moment on the Boondocks. If you don't know, go to HBO Max and look at the Boondocks. It's called the N-word moment. Everybody going to get one, man. You got to sign up. Hey, man, look. I'm not the biggest Rolling Martin fan, but man, check out Rolling Martin news. I'm not the biggest fan, but at least he trying, man, or he pontificating and pretending that that's what he gonna do. So, man, but we gotta stop using the media as the outlet, these internet sites and stuff as a way to getting our ideas out there, unless we putting a positive image out there. We got to get rid of the scuttlebutt. The scuttlebutt has to die, man. We're gonna let the scuttlebutt die in 2019, man. We have to, man. Some of my favorite people, man, got a straight gossip column going as they podcast. Miss me with that. Shout out to Noriega, man. He don't play those games, man. He don't play those games. He don't sit up and talk about people. Shout out to John Solly, because he was on one of the biggest, in my opinion, suspected white supremacist, Vlad from Vlad TV. He was on his show. Vlad kept trying to get him to bury Scottie Pippen and his wife and say bad things about him. John will continue to obfuscate and go into another direction. And I appreciate that. Because it's not about, hey man, Scottie Pippen personal life. All I want to know about these guys is what their story is, what their trials and tribulations were, so we can introduce them to our younger people, even some of our older people our age, to inspire them to be better. Otherwise, I don't care who you slept with, who your mama sleeping with, who your wife sleeping with, how much money you got, how much money you blew through. I don't care about that. I really don't, because it's not enhancing us. Look, going forward, I'm going to ask y'all, shout out to Sister Karen Hunter again. And this is a question that she asks all the time. I forgot who she got it from. But I'm going to ask y'all to stop. When you start hearing gossip from people, just ask this question. As a favor to your boy, H-Rap. How does that free us? Talking about this, how does that free us? And if they don't have an answer, then Cayete Bendejo. Shut up, stupid. We need leaders in our community. We need to do history. We need to be engaged, each and every one of us, and we need to start our children off engaging in these issues at the earliest age possible. There is no age too soon. We have to connect. At the end of the day, as a recap, we must make this a movement, not a moment. We must realize that we don't have many friends in this North American wilderness. We must engage with our ancestry, engage with our history, learn our ancestry, because that's what's going to propel us. Engage